Okay, listen, I usually don't like to rigroll my own videos, especially if they are only 1 week old, but as you saw in the internet, were the people pissed, really pissed, about this update, so I tried to think about its uniqueness, and not just discrediting it for stupid jokes on Twitter which are only getting 2 likes at best, and thinking about it if this update is just misunderstood, with its perks, with its changes and with its new killer, the Skull Merchant. Yes, I know the irony that me, the merciless_witch, is for once in a while defending an update from Behavior Interactive, but I really want you to listen to me closely this time and better. Maybe stop doing your overused jokes which literally no one liked to hear, and listen on why the upcoming Dead by Daylight update is just misunderstood from us and how it finally, hopefully, pushes the community for using other perks and other playstyles. Thank you to Alejandro 2023 who supported the channel as the first and only one channel member, and this is why we're all wrong about the Dead by Daylight update. Let's start. Everything started to question my opinion when I was casually on the DBD wiki side, because I wanted to find some perks for an upcoming short aka TikTok series, and which perks would be great for that series, and which wouldn't be it. Since Dead by Daylight has a lot of variety of perks, it was pretty easy to find my gems for that series, which I am planning currently to find, but also did find out something very important, which I am going to tell you in a minute since I have to elaborate a bit more. We all were pissed that the perks which came into Dead by Daylight were boring, lame and nothing game breaking, which is totally fine to say and to have that opinion, but a lot of us in the community, me included, didn't understood on what the meanings were from those perks originally, especially if we're comparing it against a decisive strike, Dead Hard or borrowed time on the release. We are forgetting that we also had releases such as from the Silent Hill update with Cheryl perks, Soul Guard, Blood Pact and Repressed Alliance, since they weren't that strong as those other perks named before, and were pretty bad to combine if they got released. Several updates later and the perks got tweaked and buffed as much as Behavior could, and people still don't use Repressed Alliance or Blood Pact, so what Behavior did with the Survivor perks is giving enough perks for the survivors to combine perks such as Blood Pact with the new Teamwork perks, and so with it a different gameplay style, as we used to had, since it allows the survivor to actually keep the killer for a long time on them with that speed boost, no scratch marks, and a second person to hit, just as in simple example aka completely changed the playstyle which used to be from Dead Hard, Borrowed Time, Kindred and Adrenaline or it, which meta perks are the cool people are using and giving us what we needed, variety. Variety to the perks which were laughed out as simple niche, and giving them finally some breathing room to create great combinations. They gave us what we needed, what I asked several times in my videos, and I cannot understand on how blind I was to not understand how great that actually is, because the people are always complaining about that shitty meta, and yet complaining that this isn't enough to change everything up. Another example will be Thalita's perk, Cut Loose, which is finally a perk that is helping you for breaking up the chases, and finally gives the long and old forgotten category and new perk where Quick and Quiet or Dance With Me is sitting. Or what about with that one shitty perk from the Stranger Things DLC from Steve, with that bad perk called Second Wind aka the one perk which was so complicated to understand that no one used the perk because it effect looks so weak. Renato's perks are going to help this perk out with Blood Rush or Background Player, which makes us giving an actual build which is helping you to survive if you have already 2 hooks on you and are in the need of surviving a chase. I think you guys are knowing what I am talking about, but for those people which didn't understood it yet, the perks are giving us the variety and is helping those perks which are long forgotten or which the community called them as useless or garbage, and is giving us what we needed and not wanted. Yes, I know that it sucks to say, but Behavior Interactive actually remembered on their perks which no one used, and it sucks to say this, but the perks from this update are great if you're looking with the eyes from what is needed from variety and breaking that boring and future-telling chases curse, where we exactly could have tell on how rounds or chases against the killer players are going to be. And by the way, killer players, even if those perks aren't looking so great neither for you, since it isn't a No One Escapes Death 2.0, or they're great since they are helping you to catch up with the chases or helping you to find the survivors which are always hiding and get the generators done, even if you looked where they could have been. Again, they shouldn't be super duper great, but should helping you with getting you playing some other combinations, and with that does the update rocks more than I thought. I was worried that they do nothing if they are even do any reworking, because I was always disappointed with the reworks from the maps, since they made them always so much worser than they used to be, that I thought that they are going to just the filling some words to this update website technician again, but oh my god. Even if I don't like the building in Shelter Hoods, does it at least have one now, since I hated this map for not letting me use my balance landing. Except that, did they also give this map something, since this map used to be plain nothing for me because there was nothing to enjoy on. Like it was only a tree in the middle and some rest-overs from buildings to hide in, with being completely exposed in the middle of the map, which always led to an shitty 3-gen in a first place, but I'm happy that they finally gave this map something so that it doesn't look so boring anymore. I am also how the red woods ended alike, since they added more trees, bushed, and in the general does it look more mature, no, especially with that kinda cool looking door, but in the general are the maps feeling better to play on, and I actually shite myself on the first time playing on Shelter Woods because of those ugly puppets, since it has some horror flavor, after waiting for this flavor for several months to come back. So in general is it much more better now, with better graphics, better used models, since you could tell that they used some assets from the Unreal Engine asset store from different artists, which is always bad to do, but at least so everything looks like consistent and with a matching art style, which I missed. I'm honestly excited what they are gonna to do with the Swamp Realm, since those map could be going into a very gory, moody, and horror art style, and I really hope that they are continuing to do this art style. Didn't we learn that we shouldn't listen to King or Schmuckles usually and not let us getting hyped from them? Like, come on, Terminator, are you guys serious? It's from the idiots which also leak several DBD developers just for the sake of uploading a fake leak, but yet again, we only got a killer again, which we needed more than that she was wanted. I'm still mad that this is actually just the Trickster model, and I'm fucking mad that they still didn't use the killer from Death Garden, since it would have been obviously a great choice, but this killer is helping to understand more on how survivors are playing, and especially helps us against this meta from the survivors where they're boon the shit out of the map always, which means that we couldn't saw them a lot of times, but also is this killer misunderstood because we just all got baited in. The end from the hype, it's behavior's game, and in the end, are they writing the story and showing us that you are just player in the game, and not the game's master trying to blackmail a company just because you didn't get your license. I know that this is a bitter pill to swallow, but sometimes does the game have to show you that you are just a player in this game, and that it continues its story however you want to or not. This is how Resident Evil, Layers of Fear, or The Last of Us are working. All of them are horror games, and we don't have to forget that Dead by Daylight is still a horror game itself and decides on what we're getting served, or not, and how the story is going to end, because remember, all what we're playing in the game are the memories from the survivors, and they are going to kill the game, or trying to get to the end slowly but steady from that second when they wanted to, or when they have their other money-making shitting machine, because there's only so much to tell. After a time for a horror game, like yeah, a lot of you are not understanding this, but this is normal in other games, that the developer decides which character are coming to go or going to die into the game, and that they only give you a small playroom on how to change the story a bit slightly for your favor till it fucks your decision over, like Resident Evil is doing. Look, I am not searching here for an excuse here because the outlooking are stolen from the Trickster, but the fact is that there is so much to tell yet about the character that we don't know if she could have been also a CEO which owns a lot of companies under them, which could be including that one company from Trickster, or that they could be maybe simplings. I don't fucking know, but the point I am going to make here is that we should getting used to it with behavior interactive ignoring our wishes, since A, this community is fucked up, B, the community is fucked up, and C, that the game is probably going to end soonish with the lore, maybe, since they told us a story which was told and written for 7 years. But again, it's their game story and sadly not ours, and we have to getting used that they can do whatever they want. That, and that her thrones are actually looking good, and that I fucking want them in real life. End words. Behavior Interactive made actually a great update, and we all didn't understood it because some idiots told us again that it is very bad update for the game because it isn't a borrowed time 2.0. Here, I said it out loud, and I was one of those idiots too because I didn't understood on what they wanted to give us in the first place. This update isn't about strong perks, strong killers, nor strong map changes or changing the perk too much. It's about giving us what we're needing, with better maps, more variety, perks and killers with an unwritten story yet to tell, and I think this is what we needed, an update which is going more into niches and indie playstyles, and not the hardcore fully flash in your face perks where other perks are surrounding a lot of build about it. It's also going to give us better gameplay, or in general, Dead by Daylight videos for it, since the people are going to try out some other perks more, which is the first good step in a good direction after months of this bullshit right here. Tools of Torment isn't what we wanted. We all want so many different kind of stuff in the Dead by Daylight community, but it's giving us the tools to in feature where this perk is finally dying out, this guy finally shutting up with conspiracy theory videos, and that guy with its bitching around on why no one is listening to him since he is such an important person. It's giving us the tools to torment either as a survivor or as a killer with our variety and nice cheese. It's not about completely tormenting the other side with super strong perks in general, but rather with tormenting combinations, and it will hopefully to give other the idea of thinking more in strong combinations rather in strong perks itself. It's like with power, yes, powerful perks are strong since they have a lot of force, but the combination and the uniqueness from the combination makes in the end the strong poison to rather bully the hell out of the killer or survivor mains. But I think that we should let go of the idea getting strong perks now since we have already so many perks and so many different styles which didn't got any variety for years, and I think that we should getting used to that the updates are giving us variety. To change in play style, which is finally the first good step after almost a year of rather mediocre updates. We're about to get more into the niches so that those niches can be strong too, but we have to learn that this is probably the start of more customization, where we don't need to run Kindred, Borrowed Time, or whichever meta is currently good to play. I don't have to tell you that the Dead by Daylight community isn't the brightest candle on the world, but please let us next time wait and thinking about on what we have to say or to shit on the internet again, and not yelling one more time again how shitty, bad and stupid this update is. This is making me really happy that they are finally at a point that they are going to change this because the current playstyle is just toxic and kinda unbearable and unseeable anymore for me, so let's give them maybe for once in a while a praise and not making annoying Twitter memes. Do I like the outlookings from the killer? No, I don't, and I'm for certain that this won't change for a while, but do I respect the killer more after I understood for what this DLC is standing for? Absolutely, since this is something what I waited for months or shit, even years. I'm finally hyped for once in a while to play Dead by Daylight again, after almost 7 months not touching it very much, but now I know that behavior is finally doing something against all those noisy crybabies on Twitter which are crying because of bad updates, and this is a very great start because I missed this. I missed this and I'm not going to let it myself ruined just because some idiots are not understanding its beauty behind it. With that, do I also correct my stars to 4.5, and I'm wishing you all a great weekend since this is the end of the video. Please check out my Discord server and my support page, and see you hopefully in next week's video. Bye.